Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Tuesday, January the 16th, 2017. Coming into the week after a holiday session on Martin Luther King Day yesterday. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our trade plans. We do create multiple hypotheses. We have two main hypotheses, and then we have two alternative for expansion. We do not know what the market's going to do, therefore we create a plan based on normal auction logic, and then wait for the market to show us what it's doing, and then execute the plan that best suits the market. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and then we do live trading analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please use your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So, holiday session, Globex session has been very strong. We have gone and hit the 28.0350, new all-time high in the Globex. It took us 6 weeks from November the 21st to January the 4th to go through the 2600s. It took us 10 days to go through the 2700s, and here we are trading 28.01 right now. Just absolutely incredible. This is unprecedented. Haven't seen it before. Probably won't see it again. We have not had a down day. Even the gap down day that we had on the 10th, we opened and closed higher at the high of the day, near the high of the day, and not one red candle yet in the ES. We do have crypto crashing. No surprise there. It was bound to happen. It was down over 16% from the last time I looked, and trading near the 1200. We are at 12,000. We are going to have a gap up. Now, a lot of traders that follow volume profile, they'll scrub the holiday. I don't, but we do pay attention to the Friday information more than we do the Monday holiday session. This is actually considered to be part of Tuesday in the Globex. So we'll be using this holiday session with the Globex, but we will pay attention to the levels that we have here, in this holiday session, but everything's going to be gauged against the Friday. So let's just get the news out of the way. There isn't a lot of news today. We had New York Empire State Manufacturing Index came out at 17.7 versus 18. The only real news later, today is we've got 3-month, 4-week, and 6-month bill auction at 11:30, and then we've got the API weekly crude oil stock at 4:30. That's it. The big news is going to be starting tomorrow. Tomorrow we have, the Bank of Canada rate will be out. Is it? Yeah, it is tomorrow at 10 o'clock. That will be the big news on the day, of course, because the word is that they're going to raise rates. It's a matter of how much they raise rates, expected at 1.25, so a quarter point basis. And this is likely to lead to what's going to happen next week. And then during the rest of the week on Thursday, you've got building permits coming out. You've got initial jobless claims. continuing jobless claims. You've got the Philadelphia Fed manufacturing, Philly Fed employment news order, and prices paid. And then we got the Canadian ADP non-farm employment change, and then you've got crude inventories. So fair amount of news on Thursday, and then on Friday. All right. Friday, foreign security purchases, manufacturing sales, and then 10 o'clock is the University of Michigan consumer sentiment and expectations. Other than that, there's not a lot more. There's Baker Hughes rig count, and we get Quarles speaking from the Fed. Next week is going to be the big news. Now, of course, we're in the start of earnings as well, but here we are trading the 28.01 and a quarter with a big gap up. So, taking a look at the structure, there's nothing. There's no structure. The only structure we have is what happened on Thursday and Friday. This is going to be another gap up. So, I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're on our sixth gap up. I mean, actually going to be seventh if you count the gap up from the holiday session. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. When is it going to turn? Have no idea. We're bound to get a down day at some point in time, not having had a red day yet. But who's going to call it? We are going to have gap rules in place approximately right now. There's about a 13-point gap against the Friday close. The Friday close was 27.8850. Right, 88.50, and then the Monday close is going to be about a 6.5-point gap. So either way, we're gapping up if we open up here. P-shaped profile overnight inventory. Basically from Friday is net long, really long. Overnight is net long, really long. And we're accepting prices higher with the VPOC continuing to shift up on the two sessions here. Just want to take a quick look at the market profile. There's going to be some structural repair things to look at, below us, whether we get there or not. We've got 27.84 and a quarter from Friday. There is a single here. I want you to pay attention to the single at 27.77.75. And another single down here at 27.66. These are going to be our main targets when this market rolls over and we get our first big down day, whether that happens in one day or little spits and spurts. But there is repair work to do below us. So in terms of levels, I mean, we've got to be looking at the range that we had yesterday, but really it's, a lot is going to have to do with the Friday. So our over underline, believe it or not, unfortunately, is way down here. And it's on Friday's range high. It's not going to be making for easy trading. Of course, we're going to have trade levels at yesterday's range high at 96 and our range low at 92. And that's about it. Pretty tight range, 3.5 points, on the holiday session. And then, of course, we've got our gap up right now. Our Globex low is not much different from the range low from the holiday session. It's down at 92. The holiday session's low is 92.50. Our high currently right now is 0350. This is an unequalized all-time high. This is the Globex high and Globex all-time high. The prior RTH all-time high, believe it or not, is the 89 because we don't count yesterday's holiday session in that. So big, difference between the two all-time highs. Gonna see, I think, some pretty decent rotations. Our VPOC is shifted up to 28.01 for the overnight, 21.01 and a quarter. We're trading above that right now. And the LVNs, there's one here at the 98, but I'm going to pay attention to the one down here at 96 because of the fact that that is the range high, and there's really not much I can use up here to guide us because it's pretty blunt up here. Some fairly decent kurtosis around the Globex VPOC. But it's going to be gap up rules, how far they're going to retrace or whether or not we get a gap and go day. Our daily ATR is off of the low overnight. The low overnight is down at 92. Our upside daily ATR is 28.09 and a quarter. Remember, we're hitting 2800 for the first time. So we do have a centennial rule, a rule of 10. We're likely at some point in time, it doesn't have to be today, going to go and hit that 2810 and complete the rule of 10. This market has just been incredible. That's unfortunately all the information that we've got right now. The downside daily ATR all the way down 84 near the naked VPOC from the prior day. So we do have range capabilities to get down into Friday's range. Once we're in Friday range, the target is 2703. Then we've got a trade level here at the LVN and the mid and the IB low. I'm sorry, is that IB low or IB high from Friday? And then below that, we'd be targeting the 7350. So bloody thin. And then, of course, the gap close and range low down at the 69.50 to 69.50 to 70 area, and then we've got all our levels below. And just I want to point this out. It is very, very, extremely, very rare that we see this many naked VPOCs below us. It's just six, maybe seven is not too unusual, but the fact that we've got in the teens is incredible. So we're going to get an open auction at a range. Hypotheses remain the same. Open auction out of range. Responsive selling down. I'm going to use the half gap against the close from yesterday's session. So if we open up right here at 2802 area minus the close at 2794.50, our half gap is going to be 2798 and a quarter. And that's going to be a half gap against the holiday. And then, of course, the big gap is going to be 2802 area. The close on Friday, 2788.50. 27 95 and a quarter. Just inside yesterday's value. All right, so my hypothesis, main hypothesis, is an open auction out of range, a move down. I'm looking for the holiday to the Friday gap close, possibly 94. And then I'm looking for buyers to step in and rotate us back up. But basically, I'm not looking for a lot of range today on my main hypothesis. We've gone very far, so I'm looking for a move back, probably some balancing around in yesterday's holiday session and closing somewhere in here. Maybe a push down to the 90 area, but with a over 13-point gap, your gap rules are less likely to fill that gap and move down into the Friday session. But again, this market is not acting normal. Hypo 2, which I hope happens, is an open auction out of range, failure to take out the overnight high or equalize that high, and then find responsive sellers, come back down, chop in the 2800 and then fail and come down and close the gap and push down and chop inside of yesterday's range. So I'm looking for it to come back here and start to base in both my hypo 1 and hypo 2. It's just whether or not we push up to equalize the high first or wait until we base and start working our way up. Hypo 3, I'm going to put a 50% probability on hypo 3 and hypo 4, because if we get a big day, it could be a continuation day or it could be a take back day. So if we do get expansion, my expansion modes are going to be looking at above the 2805 area for move to the rule of 10 up at the 2810. We do have a measured move, believe it or not. We have a measured move at 2813.50. It is the double the measured move that goes from November the 15th to November the 30th to the December the 1st. So we do have a measured move still above in the 1350 area. So that would be my main target on hypo 3, which would be an open test drive, failure to get into Monday's holiday range, buyers take control early, push up into the 2810 chop, and then push up and get continuation targeting that measured move. And then hypo 4, which is 50% probability against the hypo 3, is a open auction, false breakout or equalization of the all-time high, or failure to take it, and then come down into Friday's range, fail, and push down and come down and close out this 2783. Closing the gap and coming back into Friday and getting ourselves a fairly decent pullback into this continuation day that we had on Friday. That's my hypotheses for the ES. Going over to the to gold. We're finding some balance here. We had our holiday session. We didn't do much in that holiday session. I want to draw a profile, please. So we're creating some balance up here in the 4180, but we've moved back, testing the mid. The mid on this day right here, on the Friday, the big move up, The high was 38.3. The low was 38.3. What is going on with my, hold on a second. I got something going on with my chart here. It's giving me, why is it not letting me on that day? Got something going on with my chart. What was Friday's date? Friday was the 12th. Why is it not letting me on the 12th? Well, that's just bizarre. Anyway, the half back is going to be somewhere around the 1330, 1331, and that's where I'd be expecting if they don't bounce off of this 13220, the prior big target that we had above. Would be nothing to see a pullback into the 27 area again if we do not hold the 1330. 1330 is going to be the important level, the level above 39, anything above that, up back into the 42 and continuation towards the 50s, the 53.60 and the next big target above, which is the 13.55.60. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.